Yes, you heard that right. Tiffany A. Henyard might no longer be the mayor of Dolton. And the word coming out now is even wilder. Reports say she's also been stripped of her role as supervisor of Thornton Township. That's right, the flashy super mayor nickname she wrapped around herself like a superhero cape may finally be retired. But let's be real. Whether she's got the title or not, that label is permanently stamped in the minds of anyone who's been following this circus. The scandals, the chaos, the corruption, the cover-ups, that reputation is cemented. And right now, Tiffany is staring down what could be the most serious reckoning of her career. This isn't about brushing off criticism anymore. She's not just dodging trustees or waving away bad headlines. She's potentially stacking up $1,000 fines every single day for refusing to release public records she's legally required to hand over under Illinois law. On top of that, she's been summoned to court. Not a Zoom meeting, not a friendly email exchange, an actual physical courtroom appearance. The date? The first Friday of June. And here's the kicker. If she skips, the way she skipped everything else, this doesn't just end in civil penalties. We're talking contempt of court. We're talking handcuffs. We're talking jail time. The same woman who once ran 2 governments like her own personal empire could soon be right where more and more people say she belongs. Behind bars, accused of abusing power, hiding records, and burning through taxpayer dollars like it was monopoly cash in both Dolton and Thornton Township. But don't worry, we're breaking all of it down, each twist, each shady detail. Before we hit the courtroom drama, though, let's rewind to one of the most jaw-dropping moments in this whole saga. Picture it. Tiffany Henyard at a board meeting, confidently declaring, "I don't handle anything related to credit cards." Like she's floating above the mess, too pure to touch something as trivial as receipts and statements. But wait, weren't those very same credit cards used for trips to Las Vegas? Fancy dinners? First-class upgrades? Oh, they were. Her defense? She swore she never even went to Vegas. When pressed, she smirked and said, "Of course I know," before pulling the classic dodge. Any other questions? Yeah, plenty. Like why the statements show charges at Cafe Hollywood and Hot and Juicy Crawfish, 2 spots that just so happen to be right on the Vegas Strip. Why hasn't she explained those? Her response? I just answered that. Except no, she didn't. She sidestepped it, as usual. That's the Henyard playbook. Deny, distract, deflect. Act like the real villains are the trustees, the watchdogs, the press, or literally anyone who dares to question her. But here's the thing, the receipts don't lie. Those credit card statements are real, and they paint a crystal clear picture. Tiffany wasn't on solo trips. These weren't noble business expenses. They were political vacations disguised as official work. Township officials and even their spouses tagged along. And every penny was covered with public money. Not hers, taxpayer money. Meanwhile, she padded her own paycheck with travel stipends from out-of-state business trips. Trips that had nothing to do with Dolton at all. Eventually, the whole house of cards started wobbling. Watchdog groups stepped in, the loudest being the Edgar County Watchdogs. They hit her with FOIA requests. Simple stuff, receipts, statements, meeting records. And Tiffany flat out ignored them. Even after being removed from office, she clutched those documents like they were nuclear codes. Which only begs the question, what's in them? Because the leaks we've already seen are explosive enough. Take the Lightfoot report, an outside investigation into her spending. That report barely scratched the surface, but what it did find was outrageous. Remember that luxury SUV she leased? A shiny Chevy Tahoe with a sticker price around $93,000. Already insane. But the real scandal was hidden in the fine print. The lease she signed ballooned to nearly $150,000 once interest and fees stacked up. That's right, $55,000 burned on one vehicle. One trustee even joked it looked like a teenager got hustled into a 27% interest loan. Honestly, not far off. Here's the breakdown. The paperwork shows the lease was signed on December 27th, 2022. Base price, $93,216.71. Total interest, $55,929.49. Final cost, a jaw-dropping $149,146.20. And when Tiffany was asked about it at a meeting, she literally shrugged and said, "I don't see that." Brushed it off like someone handed her the wrong Starbucks order. No explanation, no accountability, just that signature shrug. And if you think it ends there, buckle up. Because the SUV was just the beginning. Let's talk about her so-called security. Instead of a standard police detail, Tiffany built herself a full-blown VIP entourage. And the overtime numbers were straight up absurd. Case in point, Officer Terry Young. Reports show he logged 303 hours in a single 2-week pay period. For context, there are only 336 hours in 14 days. That left him just 33 hours total for sleeping, eating, and, being alive. Unless this man was pulling 21-hour shifts in his dreams, the math doesn't add up. Yet somehow that schedule was approved under Tiffany's watch. And the paycheck? Over $13,000 in just 2 weeks. That's more than some people make in an entire quarter. Also, Tiffany could parade around like a celebrity with her own taxpayer-funded entourage. And how does Tiffany respond when scandals pile up? Same script every time. She blames trustees. She says journalists are twisting her words. She cries racism, sexism, politics, haters, or whatever excuse fits the day. Every crisis magically becomes somebody else's fault. But we're way past embarrassment now. This isn't spin anymore. It's a legal time bomb. The Cook County judge handling her case is done with the games. No more excuses. No more hiding behind a Zoom screen. Tiffany is required to physically show up in court, face to face, and explain why she's still hoarding public records. And if she doesn't? Contempt, which means cuffs, which means a cell, which means the same super mayor who once strutted through City Hall could be escorted straight into lockup. And don't think this is just courtroom drama. The feds are circling. The FBI is reportedly digging into misuse of public funds and retaliation against rivals. The Illinois Attorney General's office is in the mix too. Even though she's been stripped of her titles, the chaos she left behind is now Mayor Jason House's problem. And Jason? He's already tangled in a bizarre lawsuit over the historic home of Dolton icon Pop Leo. Another mess courtesy of Tiffany's reckless reign. And here's the part that should sound familiar. Her favorite excuse. I'm just the face of Dolton. I don't control everything. That line doesn't work anymore. Not with investigators. Not with judges. Not with taxpayers. Not when the contracts, the payroll records, the credit card charges, the entire paper trail, all lead straight back to her desk. And just when you think she might finally shut up, she fires up Facebook Live. She calls everything lies. She claims the media is out to get her. She spins it as an attack on a strong black woman. Sure, that defense still plays with a handful of die-hard loyalists. But the general public? They're over it. They want proof. They want accountability. They want someone to finally face consequences. Because at this point, it doesn't even feel like local government anymore. It feels like a courtroom reality show. Cameras rolling, drama nonstop. And if footage ever drops of Tiffany in cuffs, best believe it'll be dissected frame by frame, meme by meme. So here's where it stands. Tiffany Henyard is still sitting on public records. She's been ordered to appear in court, in person. If she skips or refuses to comply, jail is waiting. The fines are stacking higher every single day. And without her inflated paycheck, the financial squeeze is already hitting. Word is she's even behind on rent. Eviction might be her next headline. So now it's your turn. What happens next? Does Super Mayor finally face real consequences? Will the system actually hold her accountable? Or does she pull another disappearing act and slip through the cracks again? One thing's for sure, the money's gone. The judge is waiting. And Tiffany Henyard's time is officially up.